very similar because a few years ago, both of them had very terrible accidents. And because of those accidents, they almost were not able to continue competing. I don't know exactly how they became friends. That's something that you can figure out later on. But what we're going to watch is something that happened that made a lot of people around the world extremely happy because of not only the friendship, but the sportsmanship that these two athletes portrayed. So one of them is called Gianmarco Tamberi. He's from Italy. And the other one is called Mutaz Essa Barshim, and he's from Qatar. And we're going to watch a very, very short clip, less than about a minute, of what happened yesterday. Then we're going to discuss it. And the interesting thing is that you are going to pretend that you are reporters at a press conference, and each one of you gets to ask these two athletes, or one of them, one important question. So then I'm going to give you a few minutes to work on your question. Now, a lot of times when reporters have to ask athletes questions, they ask really dumb stuff that nobody's interested in. So you're going to have to really think and figure out what would be a good question to ask, or both of them or one of them. Let's look at this clip quickly, and then we can talk a little bit more, and then you can prepare to ask your question.
Yes, and if you can, we can continue with the jump off. And up to bolt? It's possible. Depends if you go inside on the jump. They've agreed to share the gold medal, and that is what it means to Tamberi, a man whose career was almost over with injury. So too, Mutaz Essa Barshim. He's charismatic, he's a huge personality, and they will both taste gold in Tokyo. This is an absolutely insane night in the stadium.
On the 9th day of the Olympics, Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi and Qatar's Mutaz Essa Barshim decided to share the gold medal in high jump instead of going for a jump off after a tie, and Twitter was overjoyed with the news. As the official went to ask...
Okay, that's it. Then it got really random. Okay, so did you understand what happened? Everybody understood what happened? No? Let me explain. These two athletes from two different countries who happen to be friends, they had the exact same score. So it was un empate, the exact same score. And so they would have to have a jump off, meaning that they would have to jump again to see who would be the winner. But both of them have serious injuries from previous jumps. And so they decided, well, one of them suggested or asked the judge if it's possible that both of them get the gold medal, because both of them had the exact same score. And so instead of them deciding to compete again, so one of them to get the gold medal and the other one the silver medal, they decided that both of them were going to stay and share the gold medal. Okay, so before we start, we're going to watch it one more time, because remember that you are going to ask questions. You're going to ask either of these athletes or both of them one deep, important question. Because after this, of course, there's a press conference, una rueda de prensa, in which a lot of reporters ask questions. So you're going to pretend that you are one of the reporters that was present there, and you're going to ask a question. But we're going to watch it again. But before we watch it again, tell me your opinion. What do you think of what they did? Do you think it was a good thing, a bad thing? Was the best thing to do, bad idea? What do you think? I'm going to call names if nobody starts talking. Okay, let's go to Who am I gonna pick on today? Who is in, there's somebody with their camera turned off. Whoever's camera is turned off, I'm gonna find you and remove you from my class. Okay, let's see. Christian, what's your opinion about this?
I think it's a good idea, first of all, to share a medal, because if they had injuries, I think they couldn't jump in another round. But agree with sharing 2 gold medals.
So you think it was a good idea?
Yes.
Yes, good. Let's see another person. Alondra, what do you think of what they did?
I think it's the best idea they have. Yeah, I think. I love the idea they have because they can have the same medal of the same competition and they are friends. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, Luis, your camera is turned off, Luis. If you don't turn on your camera, I'm gonna bump you out of the class. Okay, so yes, it was a great idea for some of you. Now, anybody here who thinks you would not have done that? Who would not have done that, like share the gold medal? Now, the Olympics are supposed to be an activity to bring the world together and all of us are one and blah, 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 blah. So, but a lot of times it's just a competition in which one country is trying to prove that they're superior to another country. So what these 2 young men did, particularly the guy from Qatar, who was the one who suggested it, is exactly what the Olympics is about. It is supposedly about bringing countries together and we're all one and we're all connected and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's the reason why what he did was so important. What I really liked about this, okay, you're gone. Sorry. What I really liked about this is that they didn't even talk it over. They just asked the judge, can we get 2 goals? Can we both have gold or something like that? And they just looked at each other and immediately, because the judge told them they had to agree, and they just looked at each other and immediately they agreed. Okay, now we're gonna watch this one more time, and then I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to come up with your question. What question would you ask these athletes based on this little bit of the story that I told you? And if you move your fingers really fast, you're on a computer, you can do some research. Okay, let's see. Give me a second. Oh, what happened here? Let me share my screen with you again. And let's watch it from the beginning.
Yes, with the jump off. I will have 2 gold.
Okay, let me start that over. There.
Yes, I'm with the too tight. We can continue with the jump off. I will have 2 gold. It's possible. It depends if you decide on the champions races. Agreed to share the gold medal, and that is what it means to Tamberi, a man whose career was almost over with injury. So too, Mutas Esabashim. He's charismatic, he's a huge personality, and they will both taste gold in Tokyo. This is an absolutely insane night in the stadium.
On the 9th.
Okay, that's it. So now I'm going to give you a few minutes, and if you have paper and pencil, use it. And I want you to come up with one very good question that you would ask these athletes. Now, remember what we discussed last time. Don't ask yes or no questions. Go deeper. Okay, questions that require the person to actually give you a sentence and not just answer yes or no. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, and then each one of you is gonna share your question. Now, remember the names of the athletes. One is called Gianmarco Tambelli, he's from Italy, and the other one is called Mutas Essa Barshim from Qatar. So you can refer to them by their country, okay? Italy or Qatar. Okay, you got 1 minute to prepare. Okay, people, so that's about 1 minute. So each one of you is going to ask the question that you would ask either of these athletes. You need to tell me if you are directing your question to the athletes from Italy or the one from Qatar. Okay? And at the top of my screen, we're going to go in order. I have Nicole, Daniel, Alondra. Let's go, Nicole.
I will ask both of them how did they felt when the judge said you both could share the gold medal.
How did they feel? How did they feel? Okay. When the judge said that they could share the gold medal, is that what you said? Good.
Yes.
Good question. Okay, let's go to next person on my screen, Daniel.
I would ask to the Qatar what prompted you to make that decision to share the medal.
Yeah, great question. Alonda?
I wanted to question all of them, both. Okay. What was your inspiration to enter the Olympic Games and why?
Good one, Alondra. Okay, so next on my screen, I have Christian, Emily, Jan Lopez, and Casey.
Me, teacher. Okay. My question will be, would you be able to jump off another round if the other person disagree?
And
the decision
that would be for which one of the two?
from the Italy one.
Good question, Christian. Emily?
I will ask both of them how they feel when the judge say that them will have to run again before the judge say that both can have the gold medal.
Okay, nice. Jan?
I will ask both of them, that if they think that if they jump again for the tiebreaker, they think about the end of their career or maybe their life, and if they were worried about that.
Mhm. Mhm. Good question. Casey?
I will ask both of them. How did you both feel when they announced that you two won the gold medal?
Mhm. Good one. Okay, so next on my screen, I have Tomas, Sean, Diego, and Owen. Well, it just changed, but yes, Tomas, Sean, Diego, Owen, and Marcela. Go ahead, Tomas.
I will ask the Qatar guy, what do you think is the most important quality for an athlete to have in a competition?
Nice. That's a good question. Sean?
I will ask the man of Qatar, why would he do the same exactly? Why would he do the same exact thing with someone else that is not Marco Tamberi, and why?
If he would do the exact same thing with another athlete, is that what you're asking? Yeah, good question. Diego?
I would ask the guy from Qatar, how did the idea come up?
How did the idea come up?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Great question. Owen?
I would ask the guy of Qatar, how sure were you that the Italian was going to agree with you?
Good question, Owen. Marcela?
The question goes for the Italy guy.
Mhm.
And how do you feel when Qatar guy says if both asked if both of you could have the gold medal?
Nice one. Denise and Jan, I know, well, Jan already went. Denise, go ahead.
My question will be to the both of them. How will they have feel if they cannot share the gold medal?
You mean like if the judge had said, no, it's not possible? Yeah.
Yes, how it feels.
Great question. Okay, so people, let's be honest. Let's think about what if you were the athlete? Would you have done the same thing the guy from Qatar did? How many of you would have come up with that idea like, oh, let's share the gold? Because ties happen a lot in the Olympics. It's a regular thing. There's always a tie. But very, very few athletes ever thought that, hey, we could both share the gold. Now, let's discuss a little bit, and I want each one of you to answer this. What do you think were the intentions of the guy from Qatar? Why do you think, and you don't have to have the right answer because we don't really know, why do you think he came up with this idea of both of them sharing the gold instead of having a jump off? Who wants to answer that? Why do you think he came up with this idea? Okay, I'll call you.
Maybe.
Go ahead. Who's talking? Who's talking? Gianluigi, I can't hear you. Go ahead.
I think maybe because he thinks about how the two were with injuries in their body. Maybe could be that, and if I think that he will worry about it because you feel pain in your body, but you don't know in the moment what it is. It is something. So if it's an injury that get like I don't know, like a golpe, maybe could die or something, or don't walk again.
Yeah, that's so true. And I like that you mentioned that because a lot of times we think that athletes are like machines and they have to keep going, keep going, keep going, right? And as Gianluigi mentioned, it's possible that they could have gotten injured and then they both die or they both are crippled, and then what's the point? So yeah, who has another perspective? Why do you think Mutas Essa Barshin from Qatar decided to share the gold instead of having a jump off? Somebody else. I'm gonna call names if nobody starts talking.
I say it, what I think. Okay, maybe he thinks that both of them deserve the gold because both of them have the same score.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe he
that's
noticed
true.
that both of them were really tired.
What did you say? Repeat, Diego, I didn't hear you.
Probably he noticed that both of them were really tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And it goes back to what Gianluigi mentioned. If you're tired and your body hurts, you get injured. So yeah, that's a good one too. Okay, one more person. One more person. Why do you think the guy from Qatar decided to not do a jump off? Daniel?
Repeat the question. Why the Qatar doesn't want to do the jump off? Maybe he's tired.
Yes, that's true. And you know, kids, this brings up a very important issue. And it's the issue of knowing when to stop. You have to know when to stop. Like I said, a lot of times we think that athletes are just robots or machines and they just need to go, 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 go because they need to think about their country. But before thinking about their country, they need to think about themselves and their mental and physical and emotional health. Now, also, there was another huge story in the Olympics, and it was about this gymnast from the United States who decided to drop out after she had won so many gold medals and she was the best in the world. Something happened, and she did not feel like she could be 100% there. A lot of people criticized, but I personally believe she did the right thing because when she had done that jump, she became so confused that she said she didn't know where her head was or where her feet were. She could have killed herself because if she had landed on her head, she'd be dead. So, noticing what had happened to her, she decided, I am not okay, I need to pull back. And a lot of people understood, but a lot of people were angry at her because they don't understand that she's a human being and that she gets tired. And that when you're tired, you need to learn how to rest. So, how does all of this apply to you? You have to learn to rest. No matter if you're only 14, 13, 15, I don't know how old you are, you have to know when to rest. That's important. Now, I'm not talking about video games. I'm talking about life in general. Okay? Sometimes we're doing an activity and we're really frustrated and we're getting angry, but we keep doing it because we think that's what we're supposed to do. And it's okay to stop. It's okay to say, I give up, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore. It's okay. What's not okay is to continue doing something even though it's hurting you. Okay? So now my last question for you before we finish. Each one of you, I'm gonna ask you to think about one activity or one situation in which you have to learn to stop. Okay, it can be eating, it can be video games, it can be scrolling through social media, it can be some sports or whatever. Just think about one activity in which you push yourself, and pushing yourself is good. It's always good to push yourself and to do your best. But this activity, sometimes you need to just stop, take a deep breath, rest before you start over. Think about what that activity would be and share that with us. I'm going to give you 1 minute to think. One area in your life in which you need to learn to rest. And then we're going to start at the bottom of my screen. So what do you think? A few weeks ago, as you know, I'm a psychologist, and a lot of my clients are on my phone. And a lot of people who I used to work with who are no longer actively my clients or patients are also on my phone. And the reason why is because sometimes they have issues and they can, text me a quick question and I can answer them. But then I started noticing that some people were just taking up a lot of my time for free, like a lot of my time. So I go to bed usually around 9:30 and I'm up around 5:30. And sometimes people will be texting me like at midnight, like, hola, estás despierta. Well, of course, I didn't hear it, but when I woke up in the morning, I'd be like, who in their right mind would be texting somebody at midnight? Or tengo miedo. I mean, really? What can I do for you at midnight? So anyway, I decided one day that I was gonna do 1 day without WhatsApp. I actually went like 26 hours without WhatsApp. Oh, people were freaking out. People were, because I could still see the messages on my screen, but I wasn't going into WhatsApp. And I had all kinds of messages of people just going crazy because they couldn't get in contact with me. And 2 or 3 of them were important, and I texted them on Messenger or on Instagram. But when my 22 hours were up, I had almost 70 messages, 70 messages. And I realized that I had to stop. I had to take a break. It's not like I'm just gonna abandon WhatsApp forever because I have some important stuff going on there, but I needed to just pause. And I paused for 26 hours. And in the end, a lot of people understood and they were like, oh yeah, you did the right thing. Some people were angry. I don't really care. It's my life, my time, my WhatsApp. But I decided that at that point, I needed to rest. Okay, so that's what I want you to tell me. Think about one area in your life in which you probably need to rest. Not give up, just rest. Okay, so we're starting at the bottom with Jan and Denise. Let's go, Gianluigi.
Maybe studying. It happens to me a lot when I study, for example, math, and it's too hard. For example, I take a rest because I know if I'm frustrated and I'm following, studying and trying it, I'm gonna get mad, and that's not the point.
Yeah, good one. Denise?
I think I have to learn how to rest when I have been a long time in social networks.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Marcela, Owen, Diego, and Sean. Go ahead, Marcela.
Maybe I need to rest in the area of school because when I know that I have a lot of homework, I get frustrated and I start like, oh no, I need to do it because tomorrow I have class and I don't know what can I do, and I get frustrated and my mom says that I can't prepare for school every time.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Marcela, because your life cannot be only school. There's so many other things that you need to be including in your life. Okay, Owen?
I think I have to learn when I play video games and I am like in a puzzle and I try like 4 hours in a row. Like I have to stop and have a rest. The game is not gonna die.
Yeah, great one. Diego?
Excuse me, teacher, can you repeat what I need to do?
The question is, think about an area in your life in which you need to learn to rest. Stop, pause, and probably start over, but to rest.
Playing games or sleeping?
Okay, tell me a little bit more.
Okay, I used to play a lot when it's night, and the next day I keep sleeping a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you need to learn to stop. Yeah. Sean?
I'm very competitive. When I'm playing video games or another thing, when I lose, I keep trying, and I get frustrated, and I still try. And I think I have to learn when to stop.
Good one. Then we have Tomas, Casey, Emily, and Christian. Tomas?
I need to stop staying up until 1 a.m. watching random YouTube videos.
I think you do. You know, you can stop at 11 and then afterwards you stop at 10. Yeah. Casey?
Video games, because sometimes I always focus more on video games. And sometimes I always think that I need to rest.
Yeah. You know, kids, there's nothing wrong with video games. Okay? They're good, they're fun, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you need to stop. Not like, you know, once I saw a documentary about a special type of rehabilitation place where they would send the kids who are addicted to video games. And these were kids who were like mega addicted, that they would wear diapers, like pañales, so they wouldn't have to get up to go to the bathroom because they couldn't stop. So the thing is knowing when to stop. Nothing wrong with the video game, but you need to know how to balance that. Okay, let's go, Emily.
One time I was so stressed about everything and I just went for a walk and rested.
Okay, so that was your way of stopping, resting. Yes. Christian?
I think in my karate combat, because it's like 3 minutes every 2 people, and I will not be able to fight with more than 3 people in a row. I will be exhausted.
Okay, good one. Then we have Alondra, Daniela, Nicole. Go ahead, Alondra.
Okay, I think I have to learn how to rest my body when I dance, because if I try hard, I can make a fracture in some part of my body, and in dancing, you have to learn to relax, but also to exert yourself, but not excessively.
Yeah, that is so true. Good one. Daniel?
Stop. Stay all day in the phone. I have to stop in that, I would say, for me, because I need just like 5 or 7 hours in the phone because I'm very bored.
Wow. Yeah. Good one, Nicole.
I should take a break from social media.
Yeah. Okay, kids. So 2 important things to remember. I love the questions you asked. You are getting so much better at this. I'm super proud of you. And the next thing you need to remember is that it's okay to stop. It's okay to take a break. That doesn't mean that you're going to take 10 days or not 10 days, like 10 years of your life, like, oh, I'm on a break. No, it's nothing. It means that you can understand that sometimes you need to balance stuff. Sometimes you need to rest, and there's nothing wrong with that. And those of you who are competitive, you also need to learn how to take a break sometimes. Okay, so that's it for today. Do you have any questions for me? Ask me one question. Any question about your assignments? No? Everything is nice and understandable and clear? Yes? Okay, folks, well, see you next time. Bye-bye.